Shabbat Shalom, early Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And I'd like to begin by inviting us to put our hands on our heart, one or both, whatever feels right for you. And if using your breath is a good anchor for you, I invite you to breathe. And if that is not a good anchor for you, I invite you to feel your heart. Feel it moving in your chest, beating. Feel its vibrancy. And gently bring your attention back to our space together. And Jordan, if I could invite you to bring up the screen share, that would be awesome. Thank you. So we are in the third week of the Omer, the week of Tiferet. And Tiferet is the heart space. These incredible qualities of Tiferet are with us a little more preciously this week. They're available to us all the time, but they're in our fingertips this week, in our senses. Beauty, compassion, unconditional acceptance, which I think right now is something that could really be good food for us all. Harmony. The colors are purple and green. And those who know me know that I try to dress the Omer colors. The sound, just take a minute and allow yourself to do that. Just let out that, that deep sigh. Or maybe it's that, of joy. Maybe you want to stretch into your torso a little bit. And while these qualities are qualities that I've learned from many mystical teachers, including Danny Matt and Ted Falcon, the Gaia piece is a piece that I've added. I'm not sure if I'll stick with it, but so far I'm looking at Tiferet as the trunk of the tree. I'm thinking of the heart as the center of our tree body. Place of grounding, a place of source. So as we're in this week of Tiferet, and just happen to be in the day of Tiferet, in the week of Tiferet, which we'll look at a little more closely in just a few minutes, I bring us to this wonderful melody by Rabbi Shefa Gold. And Shefa, if you're here, I hope I do it justice. If I don't, I apologize. Kamti ani liftoach ledodi. I rise, I am opening to my beloved. And on this day of Tiferet, and Tiferet should be Tiferet, Tiferet in Tiferet, we open to ourselves, to our own beloved, to our own hearts. Kamti ani liftoach ledodi. Kamti ani liftoach ledodi. Kamti ani liftoach ledodi. Kamti ani liftoach ledodi. I will open to you, my beloved. Will you open to me? I will open to you, my beloved. Will you open to me? And let's keep that with us as we move into the next piece for today, another visual. Tiferet Shebetiferet. I think of this flower as the center of the heart. It doesn't actually look like the shape of the heart, but it really is a center, and it is radiating, and it is accepting, and it is sitting in the greenery of the shoots and leaves that support it. So on your own time, I invite you to soften your eyes. You might choose to keep them open and glance at this beautiful photograph from time to time, or you might choose to close them. Either is fine. And if it feels right for you, you might bring your hands back to your heart. If not, just allow them to rest at your sides. And feel your vitality. You might work with the color purple, seeping in to your heart, seeping in from the natural world, the flowers, even the fruits that are purple. See if that allows your heart to soften and to feel literally juiced up. And as we move into Shabbat, we think about untying our tangles. One of the Kabbalat Shabbat prayers, the Ana B'choach. Are there tangles in your heart right now? If so, perhaps that purple color or juice can seep in and unfurl those tangles. Notice the heart's desire to find its own harmony. You might choose to bring in green, the green of grass, the green of tree leaves, the green of vegetable leaves. Allow that too to seep into your heart, into the space of Tiferet. See if, with the support of your hands or the support of your breath, or just turning a kind eye towards your heart area, your heart space, if you can find a little more opening, bringing the beauty of Tiferet into the beauty of Tiferet. Bringing the compassion of Tiferet into that place of unconditional acceptance, the ability to receive and to heal. We'll take some quiet time here with these images. And we'll end with a bell. as we move deeper into the meditation, you may notice these colors of green and purple swirling, expanding within you, opening your heart. Allow them to seep where they will. Whether it's very centered or expansive. Allow your heart to take in this energy in any way it needs. To find its grounding. To reconnect you with that sense of echad, that oneness that you are with everything. And we go back to our silence. We bring our attention back to the space. We prepare for Shabbat. Thank you for being on this journey with me. If you are interested in counting the Omer on a daily basis, You can sign up for emails at the link in the chat, or follow me on Limitless Judaism, at Limitless Judaism on Instagram or Facebook. The social media posts come out in the evenings, and the emails come out the following morning. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Robin, for your beautiful teaching and practice. We seal this practice, offering an opportunity for anyone who is in mourning or observing a yortzeit, or if it is your practice to participate in Kaddish, to do so. If you're not reciting Kaddish, you're invited to stay present and offer your compassion and love to those who are in mourning. If you are observing Kaddish, you're welcome to put the names of anyone you are remembering in the chat. Thank you for sharing the words of the Kaddish on our screen, Jordan, and for all who are reciting, you may unmute yourself and join me to rise in body or spirit to recite these words together.
Almighty Brachute, Viamlich Lachute, Bechayechan, Omechan, Ukegi, Jacobi, El, Adolag, Ibim, Amen.
Amen. Yehi Shmei
Shmei Rabbi, Amoroti, Omaya,
Baruch
Yitbarach, Rabach, Rabach, Ramam, Viet,
Hashem.
Viet, Dar, Viet,
Tatar v'taleh v'talal shmei v'shab richu
Leila, Mikoba, Akabashira,
v'irchatav v'shiratav tishbachatav v'nechematav
Eshma Rabam, Maya, Via, Israel, Yimru,
O Yisrael.
Shalom, Bimrama, Kuya say Shalom, Alenu Valko, Yisrael,
Shalom Bimrama.
Israel.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you again, Robin, for that beautiful teaching. And before we close, we can share again in the chat box the link to our website. Thank you, Jordan, where if you are able and so moved, you can make a donation in support of the work we're doing here at IJS. We're so grateful for your support and for your presence, for all of you, in helping to create this beautiful community of practice. For those who are leaving now, we wish you good health and a Shabbat Shalom. We hope to see you again tomorrow. Not tomorrow, tomorrow's Shabbat. We hope to see you again on Monday at the same time. And anyone who would like to, is welcome to stay on here for a conversation with Rabbi Robin. So if you have a question about Robin's teaching or practice or the work that she does with Limitless Judaism, you're welcome to just share your question in the chat box. Please write question in all caps before your words so that I make sure to see it. And we can stay on here for a conversation with Rabbi Robin. So I'll go ahead and kick us off. Just one moment. I want to make sure I can see the chat. Okay. Rabbi Robin, thank you so much again for that beautiful practice and for bringing us right here into the heart of Tiferet. Tiferet Shabbat Tiferet. It's like Tiferet Square today.
Right, exactly.
Beautiful day to be connecting with Tiferet. And yeah, I wonder, Rabbi Robin, if you could just share more with us around this energy of Tiferet. What is really the opportunity and the invitation and the energy of Tiferet right here today as we enter Shabbat in the heart of the Omer? I know that Tiferet, as you shared with us, represents so many things, right? It represents harmony and truth and compassion and the heart and also healing. And what is it about these qualities for you that really come together to create Tiferet?
So it's wonderful that you asked this, Rebecca, because this is the second year that I'm offering your Omer journey and doing these teachings every day. It started with a practice I did in the 1980s. So it went on hiatus for a long time. And what I find is that each day as I prepare the teaching, I have no idea what's going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And what showed up for me when I prepared for last night was this sense of echad,
Mm-hmm.
of oneness, that when we are fully allowing our hearts to receive, which is what they do best, they expand and they are interconnect. Our hearts are interconnected with everything, with all that is. And I think that that's what the healing is, that we remember that we're not separate.
Mm-hmm.
And we remember that we can literally fall in and be held by God, by the universe, by the planet. So I've been thinking about where we've been in time since October 7th and how much pain I've been in, how much pain we've been in. And, you know, our hearts really feeling safe enough to breathe and to soften.
Yeah.
And yet when we allow ourselves to breathe into that space and to soften, it's like, oh yeah, I remember this is where wholeness is. This is where safety is. So it's like we tend not to go to the place that's safe because it's scary. But once we're there, it's like, oh, right. So that's the little charm or the little, you know, gem that has emerged for me this year.
Mm-hmm.
In, you know, Tiferet, Shibba Tiferet. Um, and it brings forward tears.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that there's so much sadness, so much grief, so much loss,
Mm-hmm.
that allowing myself to sit in that space, it's like anything that is not that wants to come forward.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that I've been holding wants to come forward. And so I invite all of us, if we've had a sense of tenderness, or we feel that perhaps as the day progresses or through Shabbat from this meditation, to recognize that that's part of the wholeness.
Mm-hmm.
Is the sense of loss and the sense of tenderness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, resonating so much with what you just shared, Robin. Thank you. And I think it's true. I loved also your mention of just the word softening. That softening that is really needed in the heart, especially in this moment, in this time.
Yeah.
So incredibly polarized, and there's so much to feel that is so difficult, and it's been so ongoing. And I know in my own experience, often when I invite that sense of softening, what actually arises is like everything that doesn't feel soft, right? Like how it works, actually. Like that's not the wrong experience. That's how it works. And that's why, you know, so it's like we don't need to expect or try to make anything in our internal experience change, but it's more about bringing that wide, loving embrace, or not even bringing as much as like actually relaxing into and trusting that there is a wide, loving embrace from around us that is bigger than us on some level, that is here to hold us.
Yes, and I think that sometimes we might think or have an idea that if I'm sitting in meditation, that it should be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I'm focusing on a particular quality or a particular idea, that's really where you know what I should be experiencing. And you know, when we bring our attention to something, it's exactly what you said. Anything that's present, if we allow ourselves to really be open to that experience, anything that is sitting that needs to, you know, express itself will come up.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can be kind enough with ourselves, and I think also sometimes strong enough with ourselves, although that's not necessarily the Tiferet energy, but disciplined, which is more Gevurah, if we can say, I'm going to allow myself to be with that,
mm-hmm.
that I think that's where the real power
Mm-hmm.
and the real magic
mm-hmm.
practices, is to recognize that things pop up,
mm-hmm.
things emerge, and that as I allow myself to express them, I feel more at peace and I feel more whole.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And for me, it's also just so helpful to remember that Tiferet is also kind of the reconciling power between Gevurah and Chesed. So it really is containing discipline in that boundary too, along with the kind of unconditional accepting embrace.
Yeah.
It's kind of what creates that harmony and balance.
Yeah, and I remember having a conversation with Mark last year where, of course, each of the midot, each of the sphirot has all of them within them.
Yeah.
So, each is an energy, but it's not solo. It's not isolated.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at this question. Yeah. So Stacy, if you go to my my website, which I put the link in the chat, you can find the daily teachings. But I saw another question. The interplay between Tiferet and Anava, or beauty and right-sizedness. And this is from Lori. So, we've just come out of Pesach, where we went away from yeasted foods as a way of leaving our puffed upness, our arrogance behind, and moved into the humility of the flat bread. And I think that if we have an idea about our heart, we could be, big-hearted, but it's not authentic. And when we are in the fullness of our heart, in a compassionate, accepting, harmonious way, which is part of Tiferet, I think we are naturally right-sized. I think that's kind of, I think that they're inter.
It looks like we lost you for a moment, Robin. Seems like there's some frozenness. I know Robin mentioned that her connection was a little spotty, so hopefully she'll be able to rejoin us. All right, well, Robin, if you can hear me, your camera is frozen, your screen is frozen, but hopefully you'll be able to rejoin us in a moment. So let's just hang tight to see if Robin, if her internet comes back. But just looking again here in the chat, a lot of apps for counting the Omer, indeed. Chabad certainly has a lot of them. If you also go to Rabbi Robin's website for Limitless Judaism, maybe you can throw that in there, Jordan. She has her link there for her Omer teachings. And she also mentioned that if you find her on Facebook or Instagram, which is the @ Limitless Judaism, that's where she is posting her Omer teachings every evening. So that's another place.
Rebecca, I'm sorry I got lost. It happens sometimes, but
no problem. Glad to have you back with us.
I don't know. It was a question that I was in the middle of responding to. The final question that I answered that didn't get communicated. Do we just want to leave it for?
Yeah, Robin, you're still a little spotty, but I might suggest turning your camera off, and that can help the audio come through stronger if you want to try that out. Sometimes that helps. Yeah, this is better. Exactly. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, you were speaking about the relationship between Tiferet and Anava, so beauty and humility, or right-sizedness. If you want to just finish up what you were saying.
I don't know where I got cut off, but I think that when we are in our hearts, honestly, that we are naturally right-sized. Sometimes we think of a puffed up heart, which might be that arrogance, but if we look at the harmony and the compassion and the unconditional acceptance that are all associated with Tiferet, I think that those bring us to like the honest right-sizedness. And I think humility is a really interesting word, anava. I don't spend a lot of time with that word. But I think that if as I was saying, if we are really in our hearts in a tender, vulnerable way, then we are naturally in a place where anava will be expressed.
Amen. The heart has so much wisdom to guide us in really meeting each moment with that sense of the rightness of how we should show up, whether that's taking more space or less space, but really coming into balance there.
Yeah, so I want to say, Stacy, I'm not sure which link you're looking at, but if you go to my website, you can sign up for the Omer teachings, and they'll come out every morning. The next one will come out tomorrow morning. Or again, as Rebecca said, you can check out my Instagram or Facebook at Limitless Judaism, and they're definitely current, I promise.
Great, thank you. So there's one more question here that I was curious about as well before we wrap up. If you just want to say a quick word, Rabbi Robin, around the colors that you were bringing into our practice and where those colors are sourced from, and how we the power of imagining color or contemplating color in our practice.
So I actually was answering that, but I realized I was offline. So So some of these colors come from Ted Falcon's book, which I really, really love. The name of that book is A Journey of Awakening. And some of them come from my teachings from Danny Matt on the Zohar. And I want to say that the colors are not always the same. If you do research, you'll find one says that it's white and another says it's silver, one says it's green and another says it's purple. So I've been somewhat inclusive, and I also added a little bit of my experience with studying the chakras and the colors of the chakras, where they seem to coincide with the sphirot. It doesn't coincide in every sphera, but some of them have like a similarity in the chakra system. So occasionally I'll work with some of that color as well. And I think that the colors can help us visualize energy.
Absolutely. Amen.
Amen.
So, yeah, colors. It's like one of those subtle things that the mind might not grasp, but actually can be so powerful, especially in the direction of beauty and appreciating beauty and connecting with beauty.
Yeah. And I work with the colors a lot in the photographs and the videos that I put out for the Omer counting, to give people some way of kind of connecting with the energies, the two energies that are coming together on that day.
Beautiful. Well, I will definitely check that out, and I encourage everyone else to connect with Robin's beautiful resources as we journey through the Omer this year. And thank you so much again, Robin, for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.
Practice. And thank you everyone for being with us today. Sending you all blessings as we go into Shabbat together this week. The blessings of Tiferet, Shabbat Tiferet, the beauty, the harmony, the heart space within.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.